Yo, what's up guys, my name is Mr. Freeze2244 and welcome to the March roadmap for Hitman 3. So this is part of the year 2 stuff as well, and overall, spoilers, it's not that impressive, and so basically let's discuss. So IO Interactive have tweeted out today about the new remote roadmap for March. So I'm going to go through it all and go through it one by one. I'll leave a link to the blog in the description if you want to follow along with me. So taking from the top, Hitman 3 Year 2 March Roadmap 2022. With the SEO taken care of, let's jump into what's coming up this month in Hitman 3. Elusive Target Arcade has been reworked, new arcade contracts are arriving, and Elusive Target returns and enhanced support for contracts mode is on the horizon. Let's break it down. So, from the top, March 3rd, which is today. We've started March with a new batch of 3 arcade contracts, one for each game in the trilogy. Look out for the Nebulae, the Genera, and the Vitae. Complete any of them and you'll unlock the Sega AR-552 Tactical, which I think is a new assault rifle. I don't think I've seen this before. I'll show you some uses for that once we get to it. So alongside the release of this new batch of arcade contracts, we want to talk you through some changes that will also be arriving on March 3rd and will impact the arcade contracts we have already released, as well as those still to come. This is some things I'm not really happy with as well, so let's talk about it. Changes to arcade contracts for March 3rd, which is today. We will reintroduce mission briefing for each individual mission within the arcade contract, which is a good change. They should be reintroduced, it was a bit silly that why they weren't there in the first place. There will be one single complication that is persistent throughout each arcade contract, which is fine, which is just like an escalation. We've removed the following complications from the deceits: hide all bodies and camera countdown. The only remaining complication is the one pacification. I don't see the point of that. That's something I just don't see the point of. Let's remove the following complications of the Codeces, which is one disguise change and headshots only. The only remaining complication is the no civilian casualties. So that's basically just a straight up silent assassin escalation contract. It's not good. It's not good. It's not a good change. I mean, yeah, it was a bit silly having the whole one disguise change because it was quite complicated. It's quite difficult, but shouldn't it be difficult? Why not? I mean, yeah, I didn't like that one disguise change, but it was an extra challenge for sure. But I think people were just failing on one of the levels and they didn't want to wait 12 hours to have another go at it. Maybe they should do something like, if you fail on, for example, level 3, and you wait 12 hours and you'll be able to play level 3 again, rather than going back all the way to the beginning. That's what they should do. That would be a good change. Next is, we'll remove the following complications from the ellipsis: the no ballistics and camera countdown. The only remaining complication is hide all bodies. We've chosen to preserve the hide all bodies complication in the ellipsis to stay in line with the choice retaining the first complication from each contract to avoid issues with the leaderboards. It won't be coming back in future arcade contracts. I'm not completely sure why they've decided to do this. They've basically just implemented easy mode for arcade contracts, unless people were just complaining about it so much that IO Interactive felt like they had to make them a lot easier just to appease a lot of people. But yeah, they could have been a lot more creative with those changes. In fact, they really haven't changed anything. They've just removed stuff, essentially, which is a bit annoying because my old videos fall in line with those complications. Now people are going to watch them now, say, well, why are you doing that when those complications aren't in my game? I guarantee I'm going to get those comments. I guarantee it. So those guides will still work, but they could be done a lot easier now because they've got no disguise changes. You can actually make disguise changes in the Codeces. So that would be a lot easier. That's annoying. Upcoming changes to arcade contracts coming soon. All Elusive Target arcade contracts will feature 3 targets per arcade contract, which is a good change. I didn't like the 5 target one. It was just too much. It was the most difficult one out of all 3 that was released, and it was annoying. We will avoid complications that are considered to be creatively restrictive or can result in instant failure. This includes the hide all bodies complication. The instant failure things I agree with. That's a good change. Investigate making all Elusive Target arcade complications optional. If we don't encounter any unexpected issues, we expect to implement this additional change with our next patch. Yeah, but once you have optional objectives, you can still get Silent Assassin technically, but it's a 4-star rating, and it's always going to be a bit of a scrub on your rating, isn't it? Really, like it's a Silent Assassin, but did you really get it because you only got 4 stars? You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean, if you didn't care about Silent Assassin, why would you even bother? March 11th, Elusive Target, which is a wow. Following on from the Heartbreaker in Mendoza, the Broker, and Paris, we turn our attention to Dartmoor, where the Collector is the 3rd Elusive Target to be featured in Hitman 3 Year 2. Are you kidding me? This was the first Elusive Target in Hitman 3. They brought him back in, I think, was it December? He's already a part of the arcade, which is the 3rd time around. So this is technically the 4th time we're playing the Collector in the space of less than a year. That is ridiculous. 4 times. Why don't you just make new ones? How can this be considered Year 2 content when they're reusing last year's content? That isn't new. That isn't new content. This isn't Year 2 content. It's the same Elusive Target as we played last year, and this year already. We've already played this Elusive Target. Also, it's not called the Collector number 2. It's just called the Collector. Make up your mind about what you're doing. Are you going to do Elusive Target number 2, or just... I don't understand it. It doesn't make any sense to me, some of the decisions they make, honestly. Next thing up, though, is good news. March 17th, Patient Zero contracts will get support. So we're looking back to Hitman 1 this month to enable support for more maps in contracts mode. Out of the 4 missions that were from the Hitman 1 Game of the Year Patient Zero campaign, the Source is already supported, and the Vector won't be supported in future due to its dynamic nature and unique sniper setup, which makes sense. It does make sense. We revisited the other 2 maps from the Patient Zero campaign and added contracts mode support for them this month. The Author and Patient Zero will be added on March 17th. You will need to own the Hitman 1 Game of the Year Access Pass DLC to play or create contracts on these missions. Of particular note here, we've removed the virus contamination gameplay elements in the Hokkaido mission to keep creative options high in the spirit of the mode. Whilst it is a defining aspect of the campaign mission, we felt it was too overbearing for contracts mode. I agree. So having addition to these extra maps to Hokkaido daytime and Sapienza like dawn is a good change. I like that. Nice to play some contracts on those. We haven't played them for quite a while. To mark the update for these maps, we're creating a batch of featured contracts. There will be one for each Patient Zero mission, and together they will form a sort of mini campaign if you pay attention to the written briefings. Sorry, read that wrong. Also, March 24th, as we started, we are ending March with a batch of arcade contracts for Elusive Target Arcade. This batch will also include an arcade contract consisting of Elusive Targets from each game in the trilogy, and once you've successfully completed any of the 3, the HWK-21, the Hawk 21 Covert, will be yours. What? Isn't this an unlockable already? For completing like a bunch of escalations? This is literally something we've already got. What? Did they just forget or something? I'm sure you can already unlock this in the game. Yeah, look, see? Mastery level 20 in Paris. We can already unlock this pistol, unless they're counting it as new for Hitman 3. That's a bit of a cop-out, isn't it? Of all the things that they could do, they're going to re-release exactly the same pistol that we've had for 5 years. 6 years, actually. That's crazy. Anyway, this is the roadmap overall in full. So to summarise, we have Elusive Target batch of contracts coming March 3rd, which is today. So we have 3 contracts for that. We've got the Collector Elusive Target coming next Friday, March 11th. We have Patient Zero contracts mode support on March 17th. Also, the getting a batch of featured contracts the very same day. And Elusive Target Arcade, we're going to get another 3 batches of Elusive Target contracts on March 24th, and that will wrap up March. Very unimpressive for Year 2 content. There's nothing there that's new. Nothing. Disappointing, because it's just rehashing the stuff that they made last year. They did this towards the end of the life cycle of Hitman 2 as well, and it's a bit annoying because they kept just bringing back Hitman 1 stuff, but it is what it is, like I said. But that's going to do it for today's update. So thank you very much for watching. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, what you think about this update. Subscribe if you are new to the channel though. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. Hit the bell notification to be notified of all future videos. Subscribe if you are new to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video. Subscribe if you are new to the channel.